Coming up next on Columbus Connections, I bet you didn't know, well, some of you might have already known, Columbus has a Mardi Gras. Columbus has a carnival. If you missed it, we're going to tell you more about it and when it's coming up again. Stay tuned. Welcome to Columbus Connections. I am your host, David Britt, and I want to do a few things with this show. Now, one, we're going to tell you about Mardi Gras. We're going to tell you about what Mardi Gras is, how it originated. Two, we're going to let you know that we've had one in Columbus. This is going to keep on happening here in Columbus. But the third thing I want you to catch is if you have an idea, if you have a plan, if you have a goal, how you can make that happen, how you can put stuff together and really bring your dream to fruition. And also, this is all being used for scholarships to help people in our community. So it's a big thing going on here. And I have with me just the person to talk to you with it. Dr. Rocky Marsh, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Now, you brought the first Mardi Gras to Columbus.
I did.
Now, that's where we're going to end up at, but let's go back to the beginning. First of all, what is Mardi Gras and how did you become tied in with it?
Oh, well, first of all, I want to say thanks for having me. And I'll tell you, that's a long story, probably too long for your viewers, but let me try to capsize it.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Mobile, Alabama, the birthplace of Mardi Gras. So if you ever meet someone from New Orleans and they try to claim Mardi Gras started there, they are not telling the truth. It actually started in Mobile, Alabama. Actually, I believe 7 years before New Orleans was actually a state.
Wow.
Has a lot of history of French in it. But actually, Mardi Gras is actually French for Fat Tuesday. So when you hear people say Fat Tuesday, that's actually a French word for Mardi Gras.
Right.
The story starts about maybe a year and a half ago. I had recently come back from Mardi Gras, celebrating Mardi Gras in Mobile, Alabama. And I came back with all the, the throws and the trinkets.
Because you're from Mobile.
I am. I'm originally from Mobile, moved to Columbus about 2 years ago. I loved it, decided to buy a house, got a great job, and so here I am to stay. And a year and a half ago, came back from Mardi Gras, had the idea to work with some people about bringing something bigger to Columbus, and I found a couple of people, actually one person from New Orleans, and another person who's actually from the Caribbean islands.
Wow.
Yeah, so we all sat down one day, we went to lunch, we chopped up the ideas, tossed them back and forth, and I asked the question, what do you think about bringing Mardi Gras and Carnival to Columbus? And everybody said, And I tell you what, from then on, it was full steam ahead, getting planning, getting resource, and then March the 10th, 2018, we had the inaugural Mardi Gras and Carnival Parade and Festival here in Columbus, Georgia.
And how long was that from to marching down the street?
Oh, wow. Well, I would say about 18 months. I say about 18 months of actually planning, because we just didn't set a date and say we're going to do it. One, we had to look at how we can do it, where will we do it. So it was a lot of reconning of the area, of the parade route, of what it would be for, what it would do, and it really all started with getting organized. We formed the Fountain City Mardi Gras Association, which actually included a carnival portion. And just for the viewers, a lot of people don't know that Mardi Gras is actually the final part of the carnival season, which occurs 47 days prior to Easter. However, when we sat down and did the planning, we knew that we would not be able to recreate the Mardi Gras culture here in Columbus the same way it is done in New Orleans, some other cities. So instead, what we did was we chose the fixed point, something that we can give good expectancy and planning here in Columbus. So instead, we chose the second week of March to actually conduct the event. So, and that was the same approach that we did for the first iteration, and it went successful.
The thing I find interesting and I like about your story, you've only been in Columbus 2 years.
Just 2 years.
And when we spoke previously, you talked about, when you first got the idea, you didn't want to wait, you didn't want to think too long, you didn't want to overthink it. You planned it and you took time to plan it, but you didn't wait long enough to think it away into something.
No.
You thought about it, had a plan, and you put it in action.
I did.
And brought it to fruition.
From my user, and I think when we were talking before, I shared that I have previous military experience.
Right.
And when you have a good idea, you feel you kind of just got to trust your gut and just go for it. If you think too long, you'll talk yourself out of it. You'll come up with too many reasons why you can't do it. But I only needed one good reason to do it, which was to add to the community something positive, to do scholarships and work with great people.
Right. And that's the other thing. It's a scholar. It's not.
That's
Mardi
correct.
Gras in itself is great, but it actually is done to raise money for your scholarship.
That's correct. And I want to make sure the viewers know, because a lot of people from Mardi Gras Carnival, they say, oh, it's outside of Carnival, Mardi Gras, it's not Mardi Gras season. Well, Columbus, let me help you understand. This is a one-day scholarship fundraiser, so we're not recreating the Mardi Gras Carnival, but instead we are doing something Mardi Gras and Carnival inspired for the goodness and the greater good of Columbus, Georgia, especially in Liberty District, historic Liberty District.
Right. Now, another thing that we talked about previously is the day coming up, the day that your Mardi Gras took place.
Yes.
You've been planning this
Yes.
for a year out.
Yes.
The weekend it happens, Columbus has 100 things going on. Now, you could have either let that be a deterrent, or you could have used that to help fuel what you're doing.
Yes.
How did you react to that and what happened?
Well, I tell you, and that is a very true anxious feeling, because now you're putting all these resources in, you spent some money, you've gained support, and then now you find out. One event we knew was happening in Columbus, Georgia. On that particular Friday was the Women's Empowerment Luncheon. Right. We knew that was happening, but again, that was not the day of our event. However, we were hoping that guests coming in, that city, that we can kind of carry over the excitement and energy from that event into this event. But we found out there was a concert happening at the Civic Center that night.
Dance,
the day the daddy-daughter dance.
Yeah.
And I believe the mall even hosted a prom display,
Yeah.
so we knew that was big. But we had confidence that we could still pull together a respectable attendance rate. And our goal wasn't to try to garner all of Columbus, but to gain a respectable amount of attention, because once we figured if we did it once and it went well and people saw the value in it, then maybe we can get some support as far as scheduling, and people wouldn't necessarily plan on top of us as well.
Gotcha. And another thing you did was you really did grassroots marketing.
Correct.
Tell us about that.
Well, one of the things we want to do is you can do all the social media posting you can. You can pay for radio advertisement, but there is nothing that can beat word of mouth. And so driving down the street one day, just doing some reconning of the route, I saw people at their homes outside on the street, and I tell you what, I just stopped my car. I had a bunch of flyers in my car, and at first I just wanted to hand it to one person, but I had a stack of them in my hands, so I left the car parked, and I just walked down the street, just had conversation, and I tell you, I had the greatest conversations with people. And come to find out, there are a lot of people that's actually from either Mobile, New Orleans, or the area that's living here in the city. But I continued to walk, get to know people, handing out flyers. They ask me questions. I give them a little education about Mardi Gras and Carnival. And I tell you what, the excitement, the expressions on their faces just renewed my confidence that we was going to have a good event.
Gotcha. So that the day comes, you have the Mardi Gras.
Yes.
Turnout is good.
It is.
Looking back on it, what did you think about, just reflecting on it, how did you think the outcome was?
A lot of things. And now I have to preface it, because as the event planner, obviously I see all the gaps. There's things where we can need improvement. But the better thing was that people were excited about it. It had a purpose, and whenever it has a positive purpose, I think people get more engaged in it. Our biggest worry was earlier in that week, I was paying attention to the weather forecast, and it was actually projected to rain, but not into the afternoon. But anytime it's about to rain, any part of the day, people say, "Oh, I'm not going to come."
Right.
But as the week got closer, the projection of rain got pushed to the right. The day come, it was all great weather. If I could say anything that needed improvement or we want to look at, is that we needed more team members. We needed more team members to address some of the things that happened that day. And I don't even look at it as a bad thing. I look at it as this is something good that can be improved to be better.
Right. And with the team members, that's with it being your first year, a lot of people are just waiting to see how it's going to turn out before they put their stamp or put their hands in it. They want to wait and see, is he going to fall on his face first?
Exactly.
Okay, he did good. Okay,
yeah.
Now we'll act like we were down with it.
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, it was very funny. And one of the most satisfying things was people I talked to, and you could tell in this person, they hear you, they understand you, like, he's not going to really do it. But guess what, Columbus, we did it. Yeah. And it was funny.
So when you see them after the fact.
No, not even after the fact, during the parade, people who you talked to who I did not believe would show up, and I had to say thank you to everyone in Columbus who showed up, had the confidence to show up and show the support. But some people I didn't really think would show up. And along the parade route, you're just moving along. I'm on the back of the float. I'm throwing out the throws and the trinkets and the bees. And I spot one or two people I talked to who I thought didn't really believe would come. And that gave a little bit more confidence.
Yeah. So where are we going from here?
Well, where we're going from here, great. I'm glad you asked that question. Columbus, getting ready. Saturday, March the 9th, 2019, our second annual Mardi Gras and Carnival Parade and Festival. The theme is Fire and Ice, a tale of two cultures.
Okay. You got to tell me a little bit more about that.
I'm glad to. Well, because people think Mardi Gras and Carnival are just two separate things. Okay. They're kind of one and the same. They just have different names for the portion of the Carnival season. And so what we hope to do is, one of the things we knew we would have to do when we did this iteration was educate. And the theme is right in line with education. We hope to tell the story through art, through music, the tale of two cultures. Because while they're one and the same, they're celebrated different in different areas. If you go to St. Lucia, any of the Caribbean islands, they're really into Carnival. However, you go to Mobile, New Orleans, they're really into Mardi Gras. So we want to tell the tale of two cultures through our costumes, through our education, through our music, and help people understand what is the distinction between Mardi Gras, what's the difference, what do they share in common between Mardi Gras and Carnival.
March 9th, 2019.
March 9th, 2019. Get ready.
So y'all have time to get ready, have time to get prepared. You have time to tell everybody about it. Again, a great thing for Columbus, a great event, something new, something different in our community that makes our community unique. Two, just helping with scholarships. Tell me how many scholarships were given and how much was raised for them.
You know, I'm glad you asked that. When we did the event, we created something simultaneously with the creation of the Mardi Gras Association. The purpose was for scholarship. So in some cultures or in some cities, especially in Mobile, we have what's called a royal court, people of distinction. And we created our royal court not to be dignitaries, but to be our scholarship recipients. And this year, we were able to select, identify, and award 6 monetary awards to our royal court, 6 positions. We had a King of Mardi Gras, a Queen of Mardi Gras, Royal Duchess, the Royal Page, and the Royal Knight. And then later on, soon after, we crowned a Queen of Carnival. That way we represent both Mardi Gras and Carnival.
Gotcha. There's that. And then I just love the story of coming here, only being here 2 years, having an idea, having a plan, having a vision, and bringing it into fruition. That's something that anybody can learn from, whether you've been here 2 years or you grew up here. You can make it happen. Rocky made it happen, and it's going to just grow from here and be even bigger.
Yes.
Tell us your final words on Mardi Gras.
Well, the final words is, laissez les bons temps rouler. Let the good times roll. And next year, that is the thing before spring.
Thing before spring, March 9th, 2019. Tell a friend, we'll see you then. Thanks for watching Columbus Connections.